gaudy. So gaudy. Gaudy stats. Good God, that's gaudy. Welcome to Gaudy Stats
with Ben Simmons.
What's on the menu, Benny boy?
Oh, man. We got a lot on the menu today. A whole lot. We bring on my friend, old friend, Christopher Kemp, a.k.a. the Kempster, Patriots megafan. It's kind of a rambling talk. We kind of just catch up. We check in. We talk about, Tom Brady, of course, with Kemp you have to. Blake Bortles, how the Jaguars might fare at Foxboro. I think they don't have a chance. I think they have no chance. And just for reference, because some of these pods are evergreen, this one's a little more current. We're at mid-January 2018, all right? And the Patriots are going to be taking on the Jaguars at home in the AFC Championship game. I don't see how the Jaguars are going to win the game. I just don't see it. Now, I could be proven wrong. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. That's just me. All right. So we're talking to Kemp. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about Terrell Davis again. I already talked about Terrell Davis with Dan a little bit. We get into him. We get into the Hall of Fame. We get into the Hall of Good, the Hall of Very Good. Also, I got some stats that Kemp sent over. He wanted me to share them with you. Okay, here's the first one. With the win over the Titans, Brady notched his 19th career victory with 50-plus pass attempts, the most in NFL history. Drew Brees ranks second in NFL history with 19 games of 50-plus attempts, but he has a 4-15 record in those games. That's fascinating. That's interesting. I kind of like that one, actually. And the other one, kind of going along with that one, Big Ben lost yesterday against the Jaguars, throwing 50-plus attempts. Tom Brady has a career record of 6-2 when throwing 50-plus attempts in the playoffs. So this is just playoffs. Not counting Tom Brady, there have been 32 other QBs who have thrown 50-plus pass attempts in a playoff game. Their combined record, 3-29. Now that's a doozy. That's a doozy, folks. 3-29, and Tom Brady is 6-2 when throwing 50-plus pass attempts. Is it because of their kind of their short passing game is superior to a lot of teams? Maybe. It's interesting. In other words, Kemp says, Tom Brady, TB, he calls him, has twice as many victories than every other QB combined when throwing 50-plus times. And he puts 11 exclamation points. So basically, he says, if you're throwing it 50-plus times a game, you have a less than 10% chance of winning the game unless you're Tom Brady. And then it's greater than 75%. 55 exclamation points. That's Kemp for you, folks. Oh, yeah, and then he sent me one more that I think is pretty nice as well. New England is now going to their 7th consecutive conference title game. A league record, 15 exclamation points. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, has reached the postseason 4 years in a row, the second longest streak in the NFL, behind the Patriots' 9-year streak. To repeat, the second longest playoff streak is 4 years. The Patriots have reached the conference title game 3 years in a row more than the Steelers have reached just the postseason. 55 exclamation points again. Oh, man. It really eats at me in my core. You guys don't know how hard it is to sit there and basically finally submit to Kemp. After all the years of having my 49ers be that team on the hill, that golden team with light shining down. Unequivocally, the best team of all time. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, all the Super Bowls, all the wins. Steve Young, folks. Bill Walsh. Roger Craig. I mean, the legends. And now I have to, I mean, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, okay? The Patriots, the run they're on is unprecedented, and it's continuing. I have to admit it, and it hurts me. It eats at me. And I listen to Kemp just, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. You don't understand how beaten down I feel listening to this Patriots talk. But I have to give it to them. I got to give it to them. You can't not give it to them. You know, before we get going, actually I have a read here. I have a little ad I have to read. Isn't that crazy? We already have some advertising. Yeah. So, okay. Can we change the music to make it more... Okay, thank you. Perfect. Okay. Milford McDundee's Beef Fat Gravy. Have you tried Milford McDundee's Beef Fat Gravy? Gravy is so thick and flavorful that you'll want to quit your job and eat it all day and night. Gravy is so hearty and delicious that you'll never eat anything else again once the salty, viscous, liquefied beef fat touches your swollen lips. If you haven't, now is your chance. Here at Milford McDundee's, we're selling beef fat gravy at 5% off the market price. We've got bottles, we've got gallon jugs, we've got tubs of beef fat gravy waiting to be eaten on top of your favorite animal chops, loins, groins, breasts, thighs, buttocks, faces, or penises. Or eat it by itself in a big bowl for a hearty meal, or in a smaller bowl for your kids as an after-school snack, or as a filling breakfast for your newborn baby. Our beef fat gravy is 100% beef fat, so you know you're getting enough beef and enough fat to satisfy your beef and fat dietary needs. You're probably saying, but excuse me, Milford McDundee's, I already have 3-gallon jugs of gravy in my pantry. I don't need your 100% beef fat gravy. Excuse me, sir or madam, you're wrong. Our beef fat gravy is better than the rest, and if you don't agree, we'll give you a refund. No questions asked except, are you clinically insane, because this is the best gravy in the world. Get your 100% beef fat gravy at MilfordMcDundees.com or any of our fine stores. That's Milford McDundee's 100% beef fat gravy. 100% beef fat gravy you can count on to be 100% beef fat the way you grew up eating it. Savor this 100% beef fat gravy that's thick and not too liquidy, just the way you've always loved it, with 100% beef fat. Delicious at any time of the day. Beef fat you can rely on. Okay, it just goes on and on and on. Beef fat, the best beef fat, gravy. I hope have I satisfied my obligation? I think, yeah, okay. I think we're good. So yeah, I guess we'll have a bowl of gravy with this pod. Just a big bowl of Milford McDundee's beef fat gravy. It's 100% beef fat. It's delicious. Yeah, let's get going.
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, man?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I am feeling wonderful.
Fantastic.
Great weekend of some nice professional football. Can't get much better, man.
I know. There's some great games. Like I was glued to my seat, or I was at the edge of my seat. What do they say? Is that one of those two?
Glued, edge, stuck. I mean, they all work.
I was glued to the edge of my seat.
Yeah. There you go.
Watching those games, the Patriots. I'm sorry.
Well, that was the highlight of it. There was no other place you'd want to be on Saturday, 8:25. You wanted to be on CBS watching that game. That was the highlight of the entire weekend.
Well, actually, I was going to correct myself. I was going to say the Pittsburgh. I saw the P, and I mean they said Patriots, but the Pittsburgh Steelers Jaguars game. I mean, would anybody have said that? What was the line on that? That was just a complete shootout. 45 to.
I want to say it was 7 point. I want to say as far as the over under goes, I think the over under was like low 40s.
Like 15?
No, actually, no. I want to. Who did I hear saying? Maybe it was Mike Florio that said that was saying something about that whatever the over under was, it was surpassed by the end of the first half. Whatever the over under was, I want to say it was like low 40s was the over under, and it just got demolished.
Yeah, it completely out of hand.
It is the reason. It's like emblematic of why I do not bet NFL football.
It's true.
I don't bet, period. But like in college, I had a traumatic event happen where I lost all my money betting on all the money I'd saved throughout high school, gone in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow,
betting on like 5 games. And
I didn't know.
Oh man, you're ripping up old scars that if you really want to talk about it.
Well, can you just give me like one of the games that you bet on, or was it NFL? Was it all NFL? Was it?
I was getting
bowling. Did you do a little bowling, or did you like do some?
Oh, I was calling like my roommate. Yeah, right. I gotta get back. I gotta get back in. If I just double my money, if I just come out even, I'll never do it again. Yeah. No. My roommate, like, oh yeah, I know a bookie.
Oh.
Which, it was like freshman year, I'm at Ole Miss. I'm like, basically nobody there. Oh yeah, I know a bookie. Oh, well, hook me up. Because he had won $50 on a bet. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be easy. I actually won my first bet, and it was so like edge of your seat. Glued, like my heart's racing, and it was the Minnesota Vikings. I forget who they were playing, but I had them, and they were like 3-point underdogs, or excuse me, favorites, and they barely pulled it out. And it was just like that rush. I'm like, oh God, I got to do this again. $50, and got to bet big time. I'm gonna bet.
It's a great rush. It really is. It's a hell of a rush.
And then I happened to see on the internet, oh, so-and-so's free tip of the week. This guy's a lock. I'm like, oh, let me call this number up. Paid that guy $200 to give me his locks of the week. And like 3 in a row, like missed.
Oh,
he like wiped me out. Oh man,
well,
yeah.
Something similar happened to me though. I'm over here giggling like a little schoolgirl at your misfortune, but I too made a worse mistake than you, Kemp. Yeah. I actually bet money on Carson Palmer in the playoffs post knee injury.
Wow! Wow!
This is Carson.
Bengals?
It's It's Bengals. Wow. It was Bengals versus the Eagles. I remember. I bet him like on the road at the Eagles, and we all know that Carson Palmer's alter ego is the interception machine. And let me just tell you, it was in full swing. He was tossing up biscuits, getting balls picked off left and right. And I was at a bar and I just left. And I looked at my account or whatever, my gambling. What was it, like a Bodog or Bavia? One of those things.
Bovada.
Yeah. And I think I lost like $200. And I took a break. Took a break after that. Took a little break.
I'm right there with you. It's one of those things you only learn through betting. You think you know, but you never bet on the Bengals. I mean, come on.
I know.
It
was so stupid. I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe it. What was it?
Oh man. Yeah, like I was the same way, man. I remember I bet on. I'm looking it up right now on who the New York Jets are playing. Because the New York Jets, I remember placing a huge bet on New York Jets, and for the 2002 season, and they ended up getting. It was a West Coast team. I thought it was the Chargers, but it wasn't. No, it was the Chargers. I bet on the Chargers to win because they were going. I bet on the Chargers to win against the New York Jets, and the New York Jets ended up just demolishing the Chargers, 44-13.
Oh God.
Chargers. Yeah, the New York Jets were 2-6 at the time.
Was this Chad Pennington?
And the Chargers. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it was Chad Pennington. It was
Wayne Corbett.
Drew Brees. This is like Drew Brees on the other side. I mean,
like 3,000 yard passing Drew Brees before he started.
Yeah, and this
churning out 5,000 yard seasons with the Saints.
Yeah, and it was at San Diego, 2002. The Jets were 2-6 or whatever. And the Chargers were, and I'm looking at it right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6-1 against the playing, and it was they got demolished 44-13, and I lost so much money, Ben. You have no idea how much I put on that game.
Don't tell me. I don't want to feel depressed.
Yeah.
Well,
it was bad.
Man, honestly,
anyways,
I could go on and on with you about. I've had bad beats in fantasy. I played DFS. I heard through Osborne that you've dabbled a little bit here and there.
I've been doing this with DFS, and I'm getting rocked. I mean,
it's a beast.
I was telling Osborne.
It's a grind.
It really is, man. I don't know how Osborne does it. Like he's getting like $2-3 here, $5 there, but if you look at my summary on Yahoo, it's like all these teams I've made, and it's like money 1, 0, money 1, 0, money 1, 0, money 1, 0. God. So
well, just keep at
awful.
it. Keep at it. It's definitely. I've gone through streaks. Like I'm very low wagering here. I'm not like.
Yeah. Osborne's kind of like that bookie that's like, yeah, man, these are shoe-ins. They're like, these are locks. Like, you put these in. Yeah, come on, let's do it. I'm putting it in. I'm just like,
do it.
I've got a hole in my pocket. So I mean, I'm gonna blame Osborne on this. I mean, I'm gonna say it's not my fault.
Yeah, he kind of has a gun to your head.
A little bit. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, a little metaphorical.
Yeah.
Yeah, real metaphysics. I mean, another level, but he does have a gun to my head. He's making me do this, but anyway.
Well, I just wanted Kemp. The reason why I called, I just want to check in with you.
Thanks,
about
man.
I got 2
kids.
How you doing, man? Hey, how you doing, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, it's a grind. God, every day I gotta wake up and really think if I want to get out of the bed.
Life is just beating me down.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm right there with you, man. Tell you what, life's a bitch and then you die.
Yeah.
I actually made that up. I know. Life's a bitch and then you die.
Yeah. How are you two? Your 2 kids? How are your 2 kids?
I don't think I don't have any.
Yeah, you don't have them. They're like pressing down on you. Oh yeah, you're making you question your very existence.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we're in the same boat.
Let's continue. Let's just continue this. Let's dig deep.
Yeah.
Let's dig really deep into your consciousness. Forego all stats. Forego all
lay
sports.
down on my Victorian couch real fast. Can I just lay down?
Yeah,
real quick and
just lay down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that show? What was that show? Oh, Dr. Katz. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh, I just started
I know
watching
what you're
it.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have it's like pretty shitty cartoon graphics.
Yeah. It's real minimalist. Oh God.
Yeah.
Cracks me up. Anyways, but
I gotta watch it. But,
no, it's good. It's on YouTube. It's
I gotta do it.
Free. Yeah, do it, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, these games this weekend, man, were I was going back and forth. I mean, the Sunday games
it was really Sunday. Yeah, it was
incredible.
Sunday was the day, and okay, so we've been texting back and forth. I've been telling you, the Patriots, they're gonna take care of business against Jacksonville. You're pulling the Patriots company line, the Belichick, giving respect to the opponent. Go ahead.
We're on to Jacksonville, man. I mean, it's just trying to get better. All three phases. Yeah. Got a lot of work to do. I mean, it's
You're spraying the perfume. You're spraying the perfume, as Belichick says. You're spraying the perfume, man.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I don't know what that has to do with anything. I mean, we're just trying to play football. Perfume is whatever it is.
But okay, so how is Brady not going to pass all over this Jacksonville defense? A same defense that gave up 469 yards passing to Big Ben and 5 touchdowns.
You know, it's actually kind of crazy.
Is it an anomaly? I mean, they've never given up close to that in the regular season.
Because this defense, I question the the validity of this defense. I mean, what am I seeing here? You know, when I'm watching the game, you look at the stats as far as the whole season goes for this Jacksonville defense, and they're like, they just pop out of the page for you. I mean, they look like a legit defense, but I mean, the last few weeks at the end of the season, I mean, Garoppolo just manhandled them. They really disappointed.
I'm sorry. You talked
about Jimmy G-Force, man. He's coming through. Jimmy. Yeah, not to go. I'm trying not to go on a little tangent about Jimmy. Go ahead. Just do it. Yeah, no, we'll come back to the Jacksonville game. He might leave San Fran, you know. So I would love that personally, but yeah, it's really funny. Really funny. There are a bunch of New England fans are just convinced that.
Come back.
Jimmy's got to he's gonna come back. Like, this is just all a ploy. Bill Belichick, give him to Jimmy, and Jimmy's gonna walk in free agency and sign back with the Patriots. And they were like, no, come on,
dude, he's the golden boy.
The 49ers have him. At the very least, they can tag him. So he's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
They got him,
and they will tag him. They've already said they'll tag him if they have to.
I mean, they have to, man. I mean, like I said with the last time, it's Jimmy's. Jimmy is holding all the cards here. In fact, while we're on that, did you happen to get that? See that quote by Carmen Policy?
No. I don't think I did.
You know Carmen Policy, like he was the former.
Oh yeah, the Vaseline quote. The Vaseline.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to look for this. Yeah. He's like, oh, God, it's so graphic. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's like, if I was in negotiations, I'd bring with Jimmy Garoppolo for his contract extension. I'd bring a jar of Vaseline.
A large jar of Vaseline.
I'm paraphrasing, of course.
He said, and I'd say to Jimmy's agent, I'm a nice guy. Look, I'm a nice guy. I really want to do the right thing. Just please be gentle with me. You see him like grabbing the glove, getting that lube up.
Oh my God.
As the 49ers exec is bending over. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean.
Wow. All right, go into even more detail, Kemp.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Like that is. But that is like the picture of how much Jimmy G has gotten the 49ers by the balls. As far as like
he really
goes. But,
he does. He has everybody. He has the fans by the balls. He has the GM. He's got the players. Everybody loves him. He took command of the locker room. He is the it guy right now. He's won all his games. He's like floating on air. He's floating in air. He's floating on clouds.
He really
He's
is.
a god. He's a golden god.
Levitating.
I'm personally in love with him. I'm personally in love with him. I mean that across all spectrums.
Yeah, I know. Hey, and I can't blame you, man. He's an attractive guy, man. But look, the 49ers for 2018 have the most cap room of any team. 100.
Love it.
Let's just round it up. 120 million. 120 million under the cap.
Like, it's like 100. It's like 117. Yeah.
It's 119,909,412.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay.
So like that's how much they're under. The next is the Browns, who have 112 and some change. But like But that is that's crazy. And so I mean, whatever Jimmy asks, I mean, I feel like they should be able to pay it. You know?
Oh yeah,
So,
he's locked in. He's locked in, and he's not
Yeah,
going.
so-
He's never. Mark my words. Well, don't mark him, but I'm just gonna say it. He's never going back to Boston. He's never going back. All right? Forget about
yeah,
it.
you got him, man.
You chowder heads.
Yeah, you got him. But guess what? You know, you don't have the guy that's going to be MVP of the league, that's on the verge
He should
of
be.
winning
Yeah.
6 Super Bowls. So I mean, it's a tough decision, but
Yeah.
you had to go with the vet there. But
Yeah.
um,
And Kemp, we should mention that you
What's that?
broke the story first
I did
about
before
Belichick
before
wanting.
Seth Wickersham.
Yeah, you did. You were
before
the
Wickersham.
you were the
like,
source.
This,
You were the source.
this is what like it comes out on ESPN and it's a huge deal when like these were the rumors going around all through Boston, all through New England, by beat writers that followed the Patriots. Like everybody basically knew this, you know. And then Seth Wickersham comes out, and now it's a huge deal.
Interesting. Yeah.
And
What is
I'm
Bill
just like,
Simmons doing? Why is Bill Simmons writing a huge? I don't know if you read his column, but it was like a rebuttal against Seth Wickersham.
Oh yeah.
Wickersham.
Oh, yeah, it was right on the money too. It was right on the money. Hey, I agree with Bill Simmons.
Wow.
On that.
So wait, but how can you?
I do. I agree.
But he was like basically saying that his reporting was not sound, and you were saying that it was.
No.
That's not all he said. That's not all he said, but you know what I mean.
You know, he was just saying like, who cares? Like, it's not a big deal. You know, it's and by the way, there are some inconsistencies with Seth Wickersham's reporting. Like, the guy is a joke, and I've got no respect for Seth Wickersham.
Wow.
As an investigative journalist, like he's a muckraker. That's what he is. He's the worst of the worst. He's a yellow journalist, just looking for scum to write about. Like he's looking to create drama.
Is he hiding in trash cans? Is that what you're saying? Or what kind of?
Yes.
He's just a scum bucket.
Like, here's the thing. But think about it. He's like, oh well. Jimmy G wanted to get, had an appointment for TB12 and the door was locked. How do you know that? How does he get that information?
Maybe Jimmy's one of his
honestly,
sources.
like
maybe Jimmy's one of his sources.
unless Jimmy himself is one of his sources. Like unless Jimmy himself, which I doubt, I highly doubt. Like you can't take that off of oh well, it must be true. Is it true, or were you getting stuff? I don't want to say he was making up stuff, but you got to think, okay, well.
But you just said this has been common knowledge, Kemp. You just said that this is like common knowledge locally.
Not that.
Okay.
Not that he was kicked out of TB12 and he got the door was locked. Like nobody knew that. Because it's probably stretching the truth. I mean, he's like, oh, there's so much friction between Jimmy G and Tom Brady, and Tom Brady would never help Jimmy G, and he hated helping Jimmy G. He would never do it. But if you go back to Jimmy G's press conference, he's like effusive in his praise of Tom Brady. Like he goes out of his way to praise Tom Brady.
He learned a lot.
And if he really wanted to, if he really didn't do anything for Jimmy G, he could have been like, oh, he could have deflected the question easily. He could have been like, oh yeah, those guys and the Patriots, I learned a lot from everybody there. You know, he didn't have to go out of his way to be nice to Tom Brady or go out of his way to praise all the hard work that Tom Brady did to help him. You know, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of that makes me question it. But not to mention Seth Wickersham, like he's been wrong before. You know, so I mean, he said there was a civil war brewing between the owners and Jerry Jones, and that Jerry Jones is going to be is on the verge of getting kicked out as an owner or something like that. Like,
Oh, that was him?
he's been wrong before. Yeah, so like he's been wrong before. So let's
Yeah.
I think the general outlines of that story that Alex Guerrero was kind of like a sticking point between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I think that is true. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of some tension there. But beyond that, like I don't think there's much there. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. There's tension. There's tension behind the behind the scenes in all 32 teams. So I question how this is different from any other year or any other team.
Yeah. And they're still kicking ass. I mean, they're still kicking ass.
Yeah, so it's like it's same results. It's still the same results on the field, right? So
same old Pats, steamrolling opponents, just like they did the Titans. Let's bring it all the way back to that game when we were texting a little bit when the Titans went up 7-0. Were you a little bit nervous? Were you a little bit nervous, or were you just?
I was more annoyed than anything else. Just you're just annoyed that what are you doing? What are you doing, Patriots? Like, what?
Yeah.
Get it together, you know. But that's kind of been their MO this whole entire year. Like, they've kind of started out a little slow,
mm-hmm.
or they just haven't been firing on all cylinders this whole year, which is why I definitely give anybody a shot to knock the Patriots off. Like, they haven't been firing on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a down year. The only thing their saving grace is that it has been a down year in the NFL with injuries and
mm-hmm.
just lack of talent in general. But I mean, I give the Jacksonville Jaguars as much of a chance as Pittsburgh coming in here and doing their thing. I mean,
but what about
looking at
like, what if they fall behind? I just don't. Jackson. I mean, I like Blake Bortles. I'm not a hater, but I feel like if they fall behind, it's going to be difficult for them to come back at Foxboro, and I think they could easily fall behind.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't, because you got to look at it. I mean, if they were playing the Steelers and they fell far behind, that would be one thing. I mean, the Steelers, that offense is just dynamite.
Awesome.
Yeah, like you go down 21-0 against the Steelers, you're not coming back. You're not winning that. But if you go down 21, even 21 against the Jaguars, against Bortles, I mean, honestly, that is a game. That is a team that can be beat coming from behind. Like, that is one of the teams.
What I was saying though is what I was saying is the Patriots go up 21-0. How are the Jaguars going to come back? Because like their offense isn't really built to come back.
It's done. It's done. If it's 21-0, it's done. Honestly, because you got to look at. Okay, you got to look at it. Okay, how much do they have to score to realistically beat New England? And I'm going to say 28 points. If they want to have a shot at beating New England, they're going to have to put up 28 points. I mean, the worst game of the year for New England was versus Miami, where I could go over the litany of players that they didn't have. They didn't have Gronkowski. They didn't have Hogan. I mean, those are your two weapons. I mean, and I think Bill Belichick was just like, okay, let's just get out of here. You know, if we lose, that's fine, because we can afford to take a loss here, as long as we beat Pittsburgh next week, the following week. So, and even then, they scored. Like, head and shoulders the worst game that they've ever played this year, and they were 20 points. They scored 20 points with just a disaster of a game, and we're right there until the end to win that game. But so you got to expect 28 points to even have a shot at beating the Patriots. I kind of don't see Blake Bortles, even though he put up 45 points, or the Jaguars put up 45 against the Steelers. I mean, that defense is not the same without Shazier. It's they're not going, and it's just an undisciplined team. In my opinion, it's quite an undisciplined team, and they've just kind of fallen off the wheels. They were looking right past the Jaguars, ready for New England, and that does make a difference. I mean,
No,
I was arguing with Sam. Sam's like, that doesn't matter, not in professional football. And I'm like, no, it kind of does. It does kind of matter, because if you're looking past the team, your heart's not in it. You're taking it for granted that you're going to win, and that before you know it, oh crap, we're down 21-0. Jeez, let's do now we got to go overboard here. So
yeah,
and by that time it's too late. But that aside, like, I don't see them putting up 28 points against a defense in New England that has gotten so much better since the beginning of the year. I think
they
so
really
many
have,
people.
man. They really have gotten better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a night and day.
It's so funny because like they are
Do it like
equal
every year.
parts frustrating to watch. I mean, yeah, they're equal parts frustrating to watch, and at the end of the game, you're like, man, they didn't play good here. Malcolm Butler was kind of here, and Stephon Gilmore, I don't know, and that defensive line is still kind of shaky, but they only gave up 10 points. You have criticisms everywhere, but they only allowed 10 points. So it's kind of frustrating to watch them. But at the end of the day, man, they actually do keep teams wanting for points. And when it comes to running, they've really been able to clamp down on runs. If they need to stop your run game's going to be stopped.
Well, it's going to be really important against the Jaguars. I mean, it's going to be.
They
don't really have I mean, Marquise Lee is good. I mean, he's solid, and they have Cole, or is it Coles? I think it's Cole. Who's a great. He's become a great. He's become a great deep threat. But I mean, okay, I'm looking at this. This is just like to give you an idea of why I think the Jaguars are going to get smacked around. Okay, like you said, they gave up 44 points against San Francisco. All right. That's a loss. And they lost to Tennessee. They
don't have anybody. The 49ers don't have anybody.
I know. Marquise
Goodwin? How they put up 44.
Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah, right?
Kittle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
Trent Taylor?
Trent Taylor. So they lost to Tennessee. They actually lost to Tennessee both times they played them. They gave up 37 points. Tennessee put 37 on them on September 17th. And then they gave up 42. I'm sorry. They gave up 42 to the Steelers. All right. So in 2 of their last 4 games, they've given up over 40 points.
Yeah, you want and really you're going to lose to the Titans? Like you're going to lose to the Titans? You're only going to put up 10 points against the Bills, who are the worst, one of the worst defenses in the league. Like, I think their run defense was ranked 32nd in the NFL.
Horrific.
And Leonard Fournette didn't do crap versus them. So, like...
And Bortles, his line against the Bills... No, it kind of is. Bortles had 87 passing yards, but he did have 10 rushes for 88 yards on the ground. Which is like he's become like this like crazy scrambler. I guess he always has had some scrambling abilities, but like he had a game this year where he had, let's see, that was against Arizona, where he had 6 rushes for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. But like against Buffalo, he was 12 for 23. All right, then he was 14 for 26 against Pittsburgh for 214 yards and 1 TD. They did most of their damage on the ground against Pittsburgh.
I mean,
that was just a weird game though too. That was kind of Like
I mean,
Pittsburgh, some of their touchdowns, like on those fourth downs, they kept just like chucking, like throwing it up and getting big plays. Pittsburgh did. I mean, you could say that Pittsburgh should have lost by more than they did. They got a little bit lucky to even make it that close.
They did. If Antonio Brown wasn't just a G out there, that he was. I mean, coming back from a torn calf, and they were throwing out blurbs that he wasn't near 100%, even if he was going to be declared active. Like, he won't be near 100%. And he was just smoking AJ Boye, who was the second team All-Pro this year. Mm-hmm. The guy is for real. Man, I mean, not that you needed me to say that, but
the seal of approval.
Here's the thing. Yeah, exactly right. Go draft him. You've got in his 9th season. I've finally come on board here. I've been on board for a while. But he. Here's the thing about the Steelers is that I think it's all blowing up. Like, this was their. Unless they knock it out of the park in the draft, like, this was their best chance, their last best chance with the current construction of their team to go far, and they missed. They swung and they missed. I mean, this team was legit. This team honestly scared me versus New England next week. Like, if they had to play New England in Foxboro, that would scare me. Like, they'd have a legitimate chance to knock them off. Not that Jacksonville doesn't, because they do, but I mean, if it came down, but it came down between who would, as a Patriots fan, who would I rather face? The best defense in the league or the best offense? And I figured Tom Brady has a better chance of coming back against the best defense, as our defense does, going up against the Steelers' offense. So. But this was the Steelers' best chance to do it. They are now 30th in the NFL as far as their cap space goes. They only have $4 million in cap room. As an aside, the 31st are the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got negative $4.2 million, and Kansas City Chiefs round out the bottom. They've got negative $8.6 million. In cap space, so you're going to see a lot of cutting being done.
They might be cutting Alex Smith.
Yeah, get rid of that contract. You got to.
Alex.
Yeah, I don't like the Steelers. I don't know. Well, I got to see who's on free agent with Steelers, because I remember reading that. Yeah, man, his cap hit. Wow. Antonio Brown's cap hit's going to be huge next year.
What does he make annually?
Well, I want to say he signed a hefty contract, and I forget what it was, like what the number was exactly on that. But his cap hit is going from 13.6 to 17.9 or something like that. Like, cheap Antonio Brown is not in the cards.
No.
Stephon Tuitt is going to be a big cap number. Cam Hayward.
Le'Veon Bell wants to get paid.
Yeah, Joe Hayden is now going to be $12 million. Like.
Oh God.
They've got a lot of work to do on their cap, and this is not counting Le'Veon Bell.
I know. That's what I just said. I mean, Le'Veon Bell wants to get like a mammoth contract, and from what you're saying, there's basically no way it's going to happen unless they waste.
Well, they're gonna tag him. I think they're absolutely gonna tag him again. Here's, I want to say Mike Florio said something like this. Like, they basically rode him into the ground this year. I think they're going to do the same next year. Tag him for whatever. Ride him just as hard, really hard next year, and then then the cap hit for or franchise tag for a third year is going to be untenable. They're just going to let him go. And by that time.
No, go ahead. I want to bring up a stat about Le'Veon Bell after you're done, because it's interesting. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, so on his third year, to franchise a third year is going to be untenable, especially for a running back, and so they're going to let him go, figuring or crossing their fingers, I guess, that they'll have used up the prime of Le'Veon Bell's career, and so
God,
wherever he goes, he won't be nearly as effective.
so devious. Those
I know.
I mean, what the stats bear out what you're saying. He had so last year he had actually this is a little skewed because last year he only played 12 games and this year he played 15. But he had his most all-time rushes this year, 321 for 1,291 yards, 9 touchdowns, but only a 4.0 yards per carry. That is his lowest since his rookie year. That's interesting because you would think Le'Veon Bell has a higher yards per carry. He also had 106 targets for 85 catches and 655 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had he didn't have a down year, but he had 1,900 scrimmage yards. He still had a great year.
Yeah, he's still pretty good this year. I mean, he had. What was that? 9 rushing TDs. I mean, double-digit
total touchdowns.
TDs. Yeah, double-digit TDs. 1,900 total yards. Like, he was still pretty legit this year. I mean, he wasn't as good as he was in 2014. But I mean, he was still, man.
He's still awesome.
He's got a lot left in the tank.
Yeah, I love him. I'm just saying it kind of. He definitely had a good year. I was wrong to say he had a little bit of a down year, but it does follow the narrative that you're saying.
I'm actually I kind of agree because, like, as far as his his yards per carry aren't
4. That's not that
impressive.
4.0.
Like you think it would be higher given like he's an all pro. Like
he had 4.9 the previous 2 years. 4.7 before that.
So you can see that there's wear and tear going on there, but I mean he's still everybody's good, and because he's the bell cow, because he's a pass catcher and a workhorse running back.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna get his numbers.
He's a cow. He's a cow and a horse.
He's
both at the same time.
He's a horse. Yeah, he's a horse.
I would love to see like a ESPN talking head going, he's a horse. He's a cow and a horse. He's a horse. He's a horse. I would love to see like Mark Schlereth or somebody like drop that term like randomly. He's a horse. He's a horse. What did you say, Mark? He's a horse. He's a cow and a horse.
He's a whore. He's a wow. I don't know.
He's both a bell cow and a workhorse at the same time. He's a hybrid of sorts. Two different animals fused into one. He's a horse. He's a horse, of course.
Of course.
But no, it's interesting though because it looks like they are trying to drive him into the ground. They're whipping that horse. They're whipping the cow. What do they do with? They don't whip cows, do they? They whip.
Longhorns. I think they did back in the day. I don't think they brand them. They brand them. They get that brand and they just they stick it right in their side. Very humane. They want to be humane with it. But yeah, like as far as I think he is going to be good next year. He's still but I think the Steelers are on the right path in wanting to franchise him, and then crossing their fingers that he's going to be kind of wasted after that, because I don't know, more times than not, that's kind of how it goes. It's
true.
You ride him hard, and then you take him out to the shed, let him go on his way.
Take him out back, kind of like what Belichick's going to do with Brady soon, right?
I don't know, man. Brady is
old Yeller style.
Brady is legally bound to play till he's 45 now because they traded Jimmy Garoppolo for him. They said, Tom Brady, look what the fuck we did for you, man.
It's kind of true.
I don't give a shit if Giselle says that you get a concussion every goddamn day.
Did she say
you are committing? Well, she said he got a concussion.
Oh.
That he had previous concussions. But Giselle, at least the rumor is that she doesn't want him to play anymore. And so there's all these rumors out that, You know, is this it? Is this it for Tom Brady? And I'm saying Tom Brady doesn't get to make that decision anymore because the Patriots stuck their head out for Tom Brady. They said, all right, we are all aboard the Tom Brady train for at least the next 3 years. You are not allowed to retire. Because we're doing you a huge solid by getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo for you.
It's true. They did.
It is, man. But I mean, what can you say? What can you say? But you are about to witness history. Everybody that watches football, just watch and just appreciate. This is like '98 Michael Jordan. All right, this is 1997, 1998 Michael Jordan. You are witnessing greatness right now. And so just appreciate it. You know,
begrudgingly, I have to admit you're right. I mean, it's incredible what he's doing. Like, I remember when Kurt Warner with Arizona? Like, he was playing amazing. Indoors, throwing all kinds of pinpoint, accurate passes, putting up gaudy stats. Brady's doing the same thing. Brady's,
Sure, because, I mean, here's the thing about Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner, he had some pretty forgettable years.
He did. But not in Arizona.
New York.
Not in Arizona, though.
Yeah, in Arizona, he was really helped out.
Yeah, he
was helped out a lot.
The Super Bowl. They could have almost won, too.
He did. That year, they came out of nowhere. That's what I love about football is you've got these teams that are middling at best for 3/4 of the year. And then they just go on fire. Like something happens and they just like something ignites in them and they just go nuts. And that was the Cardinals that year. I don't know, they must have drank something. Something must have been in the water there. They were incredible at the end of the year after being.
No, continue. I just want to just finish what you're saying, but I want to draw your attention after you're done to an amazing, gaudy playoff game, the Arizona Cardinals against the Green Bay Packers, in the heyday of Kurt Warner in Arizona. But continue what you have to say.
Yeah. Okay. They were 9-7 going into the playoffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 9-7 going into the playoffs. Actually, in December they dropped 2 of 4. In December. Dropped 4 of their last 7, or 4 of their last 6, going into the playoffs. Like they weren't that great of a team. Kind of, if I remember correctly, they kind of like backed into the wild card. Like they shouldn't have been into the wild.
It's 2010, right?
2008. This is when they got all the way to the Super Bowl and then like played one of the best Super Bowls of all time.
I'm talking about I was looking at 2010 when they had that crazy shootout against the Packers. The Cardinals put up 51 points. The Packers put up 45. Rodgers went off. He had 423 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, and also 13 rushing and 1 touchdown on the ground. And Warner had 379 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. It was a crazy game. I watched it in Chicago, maybe with you. I don't remember, but that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. It's green. It was Packers versus Cardinals, January 10th, 2010.
Oh, wow. No, I don't. Man, that game was so forgettable. I don't even remember it.
Forgettable?
Yeah, I don't even remember it.
It was an overtime game. Overtime. Overtime,
Are you
buddy.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on Football Reference. Carlos Dansby returned a 17-yard defensive fumble return to win the game in OT. This is January 10th, 2010. I'm looking at it. Buddy.
It was 2009. Okay,
but you could be right. You could be right about them going another time, like going like to the. I mean, they were good. They were like really good when he was there. It was like a confluence of good well, not in this game, but pretty good defense. And he had like Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden as his wide receivers. Man, what a receiving core! Wow.
Yeah, that was a really good receiving core, and I want to say that they, I want to say they made Kurt Warner look a lot better than he actually was.
Why do you hate Kurt Warner so much?
I don't like. He's a man of God. No,
you hate him,
man.
You hate him. You really hate him.
I just think he's kind of, I disagree with him being enshrined in Canton. That's kind of devalues the whole Hall of Fame. When he
had like one of the best seasons ever with the.
He had a great season.
He had multiple great seasons. All right, we're taking a Kurt Warner tangent really fast. I gotta
look. He's definitely in the Hall of Very Good. Like I'm not gonna deny him that he's the Hall of Very Good, but this is the Hall of Fame. I don't know the Hall of Very Good. I think it's in West Canton is where I think the Hall of Very Good is. So maybe put a little clay statue of him and a clay bust in the Hall of the Very Good.
Like a Play-Doh? Like a Play-Doh bust?
Yeah, exactly. That's that. Yeah, a little Play-Doh bust.
The disrespect. I'm looking at his stats now.
Get the elementary school kids from West Canton. So, do their best. Yeah, just show them a picture of Kurt Warner and make them do their best, bust of Kurt Warner, and then they'll just prop that up. And underneath it will say Kurt Warner.
Wow, the blatant disrespect. But you look at his stats. Now they don't look.
No disrespect.
Oh yeah. No disrespect. Yeah, you say that afterwards. You basically just pissed all over his name.
With all due respect to Kurt Warner, we should get some elementary school kids to do a Play-Doh mock-up of his bust and put it in the Hall of Very Good.
The Hall of Very Good. Well, he didn't ever throw for 5,000 yards passing, which has become like, basically a staple of like a great passer these days. But he had 4,800 yards and 36 touchdowns in 2001, and when he came on the scene, he had 4,353 yards and 41 touchdowns with 13 interceptions. Kemp, it's one of the best. The team was 13-3. It's one of the best QB seasons of all time. All right.
No, I will give it to you. Like
1999, he was unbelievable. He had a 109 passer rating, and then in 2001, he threw a lot more interceptions that year. He had 22. But his team was 14-2.
But here's the thing, Ben, is that how much he had some of the most dynamic receivers in St. Louis. I mean, you're talking about all-time greats.
Torrey Holt, underrated now. Torrey Holt's underrated now. That guy belongs in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
No, Hall is very good. He's borderline. I'll give you that. He is borderline. He had some magnificent seasons. So I'm gonna have to look into that before I plant my flag down one way or the other on that. But like that's in St. Louis. Then in Arizona, he had Fitzgerald, who will go down as one of the greatest of all time. He had Anquan Bolden, who so
good.
And when he didn't have those dynamic playmakers, he kind of sucked.
Well, most quarterbacks suck when they don't have serviceable receivers and like a good offensive line. I mean,
I agree. Like Tom Brady had Troy Brown for like 7 years, and he was. But he wasn't Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame by then.
Troy Brown was good, man.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
He wasn't like
the Hall of Good.
The Hall of Very Good.
Hall of Good.
The Hall of just good. There's a Hall of good. There's a Hall of like okay. There's a Hall of adequate. There's a Hall of like below average.
There's a bunch of tiers there. I mean, okay, Troy Brown was like he's in the Patriots Hall of Fame. Like he was really good as far as being a reliable receiver.
They'll put anyone in that Hall ofAme. They'll put anybody.
Wow. Watch your mouth.
Anybody.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Is David Patton in that?
Hey,
he's actually good. I like David Patton. I like David Patton.
That was all right. He was sorely missed. Him and
Deion Branch. He's there.
Deion Branch. I mean, man, talk about
From
Brady's
Louisville.
dinky. I know.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's kind of true. It's kind of true. I mean, no, I see what you're saying, but in that offense, some would say Mike Marks was the grand wizard, was the what do you want to call him? The orchestrator, the conductor, and Warner was just simply
he was odd.
He was odd. He was a really weird guy, actually. He was really weird. But no, I think Kurt Warner belongs in the Hall of Fame. If they put Terrell Davis, like I talked about with Dan, if Terrell Davis is in the Hall of Fame, then Kurt Warner.
That really puts a damper on, because now you're open. When you put
he's in the Hall. He's there.
No disrespect.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
I know he is. No disrespect to Terrell Davis, okay, but when you put
now you're about to disrespect
Terrell Davis into the Hall of Fame, you're opening up the floodgates for all these like marginal talents that had one or two standout years, like Priest Holmes.
Marginal talent, Terrell Davis.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying Terrell Davis is a.
You're saying it was kind of a short career. Is that what you're saying? Like it was like 3 years of greatness and then nothing.
Yeah, like his whole Hall of Fame resume is on a few years. Like honestly, like he played 9 years and
4 years. I think it's 4 great years. He had like. Let me look him up really fast. I looked it up.
I think it's 3, man. I think it's 3 years that like he's like over the top. Like
you might be right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it was 3 where he was unbelievable. But okay, let's see. He had over 1,000. He had over 1,000 yards. You're right. Okay. He had over 1,000 yards for 4 seasons. You know.
Wow.
And he had over 1,000 yards. He had 1,117 yards on in 14 games his first season and 7 touchdowns. He also had 49 catches, 367 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's a solid season. But yeah, he started getting great. I mean, he had, over 1,800 yards from scrimmage his next season, and then the next 2, which were the Hall of Fame worthy. He had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. I don't know.
But
I don't know.
See what I'm saying? Like okay, yeah, those few years, undeniable. They were great. They were fantastic. Like some of the best ever. Single seasons.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them. 98 was. But
97 was too. 97 was he had.
Okay, all right. Well, I won't.
He had 1,750 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns. He had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. I mean, he had an amazing season.
So 97, 98, 2 great seasons. That is what his Hall of Fame resume is. Those 2 years. Okay, and if you want to throw 96 in there too, fine. 3 years, 3 outstanding years. And then nothing, more or less nothing, especially like 99, 2000, and 2001. Like, I don't know. Like you put Terrell Davis in, who I will give you those were 3 great years. But you put him in, you were opening the floodgates for a bunch of otherwise marginal talents. Like, I'll go back to Priest Holmes. Priest Holmes was.
Priest Holmes.
I mean, talk about gaudy stats. He had some gaudy stats.
Gaudy. Oh God. So gaudy.
Like I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. Look, you gotta think about it. Look at some of these seasons, man. These are.
2003, 27 rushing touchdowns.
27 touchdowns. And he also had 74 catches for 690 yards and somehow had no touchdowns through the air.
I know. That's crazy, actually.
What?
He almost had 1,000 yards with 0 touchdowns. I don't know.
He had 3 seasons with well over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Okay, we gotta save the Priest Holmes discussion for another time. We can't get into Priest Holmes right now. It's too gaudy. It's too much. It's its own thing.
But let me ask you this:
God.
do you think he'll be in the Hall of Fame? Like, I don't think
you're
he's
gonna put Terrell Davis in there, but I think Terrell Davis got in there because of the Super Bowls. But if you're gonna put Terrell Davis in there based on the stats, you gotta put Priest Holmes in.
See, this is why I say you don't put Terrell Davis in. I know they already did, but I think that was wrong. They shouldn't have put Terrell Davis in.
Where are they going to put him? What, are they put him in the Hall of Very Good or the Hall of Good?
Yes, you put him in the Hall of Very Good. Another Play-Doh sculpture.
You're going to give him Play-Doh?
That is
you're not going to even break out like the sterling silver or actually bronze?
No,
bronze is worse than silver, right?
Very, very good. Hall of the Very Good.
Wait. In the Hall of Fame, do they give him bronze statues in the Hall of Fame? Are they bronze?
Yeah, actually, it's
Why don't we do gold?
It is.
Bronze is like the Bronze Age was kind of
that. If it was gold, if it was everything gold, that hall where you have the bus, which is at the very end. It's actually kind of boring when I went there. But that would be a pretty expensive room.
Yeah,
you could only look at it. I feel like
it's a good point. It's a good point. Well, they could at least give him like a nickel. Do a statue in nickel, right? Do a statue in nickel.
You can always. Well, what do they do with Play-Doh to make it hard? Like you just torch it. You can make it hard, man. Nobody's saying it's got to stay Play-Doh. Like, you can make it to where it stands upright.
The disrespect that you are giving these men, Kemp. I
remember,
can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Before I said anything, I said no disrespect.
Oh, okay. In that case, it's fine. Never mind. Take it all back. You're a gentleman.
Shields me from. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But so that's Terrell Davis. In my opinion, on Terrell Davis, that he's not really worthy. He's not Hall of Fame. I mean, Hall of Fame is meant for Tom Brady, and Tom Brady does not want the Terrell Davises and the Kurt Warners of the world.
How do you know what he wants?
Kind of downgrading what the Hall is meant to be. I mean, it is a Hall of reflection. Like, you're supposed to look at these guys and really think about your life.
It's like
how you've come up short. I look at Terrell Davis and I say, I could do that.
Oh, okay. I think we should probably end the conversation now, because you just said that you could be a running back in the NFL.
Possibly. I didn't say that. I said I could imagine myself doing that. Now, Tom Brady, I can never imagine myself doing what he does.
I mean, have you seen Tom Brady?
Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
Oh yeah, nice. Thank you.
Like, I couldn't imagine doing what they do, but I mean, I don't know.
You know what? We gotta call it quits here. We've gone way off the rails.
We really have.
You're
telling me you wanted to talk about the playoffs. I think we're talking about one playoff game.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love this. I love it, and I could go on for another hour. I just don't know if our listeners would want to hear it. We've put in some good podcasting here. You've been your usual dynamic self. You're a great guest. Love having you on. I guess just leave us with something you're looking forward to in this Patriots game against the Jaguars. Something doesn't have to be stats related. Just what are you looking for in this game?
Well, okay. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking that the Patriots want to come out. They want to score. They want to get the ball first. So if they win, they're going to want to get the ball first. They want to put Blake Bortles in a hole early, to where, okay, we're going to force the Jaguars into making this the Blake Bortles show, not the Leonard Fournette show. If we score first, which I feel like they wanted to do in Tennessee as well, which is why they took the ball first.
Yeah.
Because if you put the game on Blake Bortles' shoulders, he's going to crumble. He's going to make errant throws. He's not comfortable.
And by the way, like
coming from
Marcus,
behind.
Yeah, well, Marcus. I know, I agree. Sorry to cut you off, but Marcus Mariota, I felt like something was going on with him. I don't know what if it was a scheme thing, but it just seemed like he was just giving up on the routes. Like he was getting sacked. You know what I'm saying? Like they were sending him in these long drop backs. They weren't having him get the ball out faster. Maybe he wasn't making quick decisions. I don't know what was happening, but I felt like
he hurt his quad, is what I heard. Apparently he re-injured his quad. I want to say there's a little bit of a softy in Mariota because he's
Wait, you forgot to say no disrespect. You forgot to say that.
Yeah, no disrespect. No disrespect to Mariota, but so he's been in the league. This is his third year, and he got injured last year. He got injured this past year, and honestly, I think I want to say that never healed. Like it was a lingering thing that never.
He hasn't looked the same.
He hasn't looked the year. He started the year, I think, up to week 3 or 4, or whatever. Whenever that injury happened, he looked fairly good. He looked good. Yeah. He looked like a good QB. And then he got hurt, and he hadn't looked the same ever since. I think it's a combination of that and the fact that their coach was Mike Mularkey. So. At least he's out of the picture now.
Former coach, yeah.
Yeah, right. So maybe they can salvage him, but he seems kind of soft to me. No disrespect.
Wow. No disrespect.
Yeah.
He's calling him in soft.
But I think that the Jaguars, they want to get the Jaguars into a hole early. I think whoever scores. Or excuse me, let me rephrase this. If the Patriots score first, I think it's going to be you're going to be looking at a kind of a wide margin as far as the score goes. They're because Blake Bortles can't come from behind. That's not how he plays. Doesn't play well. He likes to play. He likes to set up the run to set up. He likes to play the run, so he sets up the pass, and the opposite of that, having to do the pass to set up the run.
Yeah,
that's not his.
You're saying he's a front runner. You're basically saying he's a front runner.
Yeah, I kind of am.
Yeah, indirectly, once again you didn't say no disrespect.
When you score 45 points and you only throw for 200 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's kind of true. I agree. I think the Patriots are going to leap up they're going to get out front, and then it's going to be curtains. Honestly, I think it's going to be. It could end up being a big blowout.
And let me.
I'm not trying to jinx your team. I'm not trying to jinx your team.
Maybe I am. Actually, I am. Let me also say that defense is legit. And on the flip side,
you already said that.
No, I'm saying it right now. Don't edit this out because I am being very. I'm a humble.
Get my scissors out. I'm going to chop this part right out. I'm going to snip it right out.
But that the Jaguars defense is legit. I mean, they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde, but when they're on, they are on, and they've got the weapons there. I mean, think about this really quickly. You've got Tom Coughlin, a Tom Coughlin team. Okay, Tom Coughlin.
You're going to mention a player. They got their weapons there.
Oh, right.
Tom Coughlin. I just imagine Tom Coughlin streaking down the sideline and catching an 80-yard touchdown. Tom Coughlin.
It's very scary. Purple, and it's going to be really cold, so his cheeks are going to be purple. A really good defense, a solid front seven that can rush for and get to the passer, that has on offense a kind of underwhelming quarterback. I mean, who does that remind you of? I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, it's like 2007 New York Giants all over again. And
come on.
I mean,
Eli can pass with when Eli playoff Eli can pass with the best of them, and when he years past when he locks it in.
Let's remember that until 2007, Eli was a joke. Honestly, Eli was a joke. I remember, those downfall, those downfall YouTube videos where Hitler is in his Fuhrer bunker, and he's like yelling in German, but they're translating it, and it's all funny.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Relevant. Well, during that year's playoff, there's a funny one of the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Giants, Eli Manning's Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And just give you the zeitgeist of that time, of 2007, was like that whole the whole Adolf Hitler translating it. He's like, Eli Manning sucks. He's no good. He's awful. He's like, who the F is Eli Manning? How are you gonna lose? And he's, of course, Hitler is a closet Cowboys fan, so
of course,
he's all upset. Yeah, he's all upset that the Cowboys lost to the Giants. It's actually really funny. I actually watched it. I don't know, about a few months ago. It
is that because the Eli beat you guys twice in the Super Bowl, and he's the only team that really separates you guys from true immortality in the record books and in fans' minds?
Which is why, if you're a Giants fan, you should be rooting for the Patriots if they get to the Super Bowl. If they get to the Super Bowl, all Giants fans should be rooting for the Patriots to win, so that they can still carry that mantle that, we're the only team that can beat the Patriots. But that's just me.
Well, I honestly think they're going to make this. I really do think the Patriots will get to the Super Bowl, and we'll have to have you on again when they get there.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna look ahead. We're gonna look ahead past Jacksonville, assume they're gonna win, and we'll talk to you Super Bowl week. How about that?
All right, yeah. After they've hoisted the Lamar Hunt Trophy for being AFC champions.
Yes.
Is that what?
Yes.
Well, thanks for jinxing me.
Yeah, it's a given. I really, but honestly though, I think things would have to go horribly wrong. I mean, it'd have to be one of those just cold weather, kind of just defensive struggle games, which after watching the Jaguars give up all those yards to Big Ben, I just don't see it happening. I mean, let's just really fast. Let's look at the weather. Because I honestly think that's the only thing. Let's see. It's 52 degrees, mostly cloudy. That's the forecast. I mean,
oh wow,
it could be a defensive struggle. It could be. There's a world where that could happen. I'm just not seeing it, man. So congratulations on the win. Great job.
They do play man to man. I mean, they do that. The man to man seems to give Brady fits. So they've got the best cornerback tandem in the league.
Go ahead and book your flight to Minneapolis.
Linebackers are solid. Miles Jack is like Deion Jones light there. Telvin Smith is an all-pro. Like, they've got the horses, man. They've got the horses to line up with the Patriots offense man for man and take the big weakness of the Jaguars is their ability to follow running backs out of the backfield. And so that's where, like, Rex Burkhead, Deion.
And what is one of the Patriots' biggest strengths offensively?
And James White as well. I mean, we'll see if it gets employed. Sometimes McDaniels is funny in the way he does his play calling.
They're all going to be healthy too. They're all going to be, all those little running backs. They're going to employ the Diamond of Doom formation that I've been talking about on the podcast. All four running backs are going to be on the field at the same time, and you just forget about it. It's curtains from that point on.
You don't know who to guard up against. Like, their whole guarding scheme will be all out of whack if that happens.
It's going to be everything's going to be out of whack. So go ahead and book your flight to Minneapolis, and congratulations, man. It was a great game. You won. The Patriots won, and on to the Super Bowl.
Listen, on to the record, I'm not describing your line of thought. We'll see how the game plays out, man. It's gonna be a good game. So.
Oh, buddy. Okay, it's been a pleasure, Kemp.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Take it easy.
All right.